Okay, g'day everyone. Welcome to the TimePro sprint review for sprint 316. This has been a 2-week sprint. Let's jump into it and I'll show you what we've been working on. So, starting off with the review and retro, as I mentioned, 2-week sprint. It was extended last week just because we've had a little bit of a shift around in dev resources and time and whatnot.
And public holidays.
And public holidays, exactly. So,
yeah,
which we're not mad about. That's fine. Cool. In terms of
attendees. Put Tom in.
Attendees.
JK. And you.
Good catch.
And no Adam.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Awesome. Alrighty. Who worked the sprint? It was Tom, myself, and JK. The PBIs that we got through. So we got through a fair few of them this week, which has been great.
Let me go through. So display PBI metrics for the last 30 days in TimePro. What is that?
Yep. So first one there, we can look into it, but it was not a code change. It was something that was requested by Adam, I believe. Wanting to know how many PBIs
how many we had saved, how many were done, how many new ones. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Got that.
All that stuff is in the PBI what do you call it? Discussion. So
yeah, just FYI, that the idea is that we want those stats every week, like every sprint, but not for Azure DevOps projects. It's too painful to get, so we're doing it for GitHub projects at the moment. We've got like a little script for it.
Oh, cool, awesome. Alrighty,
but that's where this originated.
Yeah. Staging. So JK has been through and recreated the SSW and SSW EU staging environments, just like pretty much nuking the database, and we're starting fresh with all the CRM dev data to make sure everything links up nicely. As a result, we're missing invoices, we're missing a bunch of relational data, so we've got a PBI planned for next sprint to address that.
And is that why the sprint goal is not marked as done?
Correct.
Right, because of that missing thing. Okay, so so the stuff that's left over is not in sprint at the moment; it's in the backlog.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Cool. PDF for invoices. So there was a request to remove categories from timesheets on our invoices. That was a small, quick change which we've complete and deployed.
That's brilliant. I'm going to stop getting complaints from people now about that.
Annual review, timesheet task. So this was something actioned by Chloe, but Tom sort of has been through this.
Did you remember that? Maybe I'll just explain it.
Yeah, if you can.
Yeah, it's just one PBI that I share is that devs have often complained about the annual review timesheet has appearing in the suggested timesheet. So Chloe did a little bit change to make sure that annual review only appear for like one time.
Okay.
And sure.
Cool. Alrighty, next two here, Ingram Micro. So we've had this discount feature in the works for a while now. The PR keeps getting pushed back each time we get pushed onto ClientWorks. So we're finally been able to complete that and merge it in.
And Mike and I both tested it. Looks good.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. Cool. Next one, there was a task from Adam. Not Yuli. Seth and Adam were trying to make a few changes to the product page, which is hosted on WordPress. They didn't know how to get access, how to make those changes, so they want that attached to the wiki. So as part of this PBI, I've added a new wiki page in there, which redirects onto our SharePoint site, which has all of the details. Also, we've taken the time to address a little bit of tech debt in terms of our documentation. It was all over the shop, and I've been able to restructure it, make it a little bit cleaner for a new starter.
Nice.
Cool. Discount limitation based on cost price. I believe you're all over that one. That was the PBI that we created during the testing of the discounts, just to make sure that we can't sell a product for less than it's worth, less than we pay for it, rather.
Or we can, but it gives a warning first, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So that has been implemented. I don't believe I have it working locally. So Just sorry to give you a little bit more detail. Instead of the dialogue that we originally suggested, it would have been a little bit of a bad UI, just in terms of like a dialogue sitting on top of a dialogue. It's kind of feels like a web scam sort of thing.
Right.
So it's just now, if the cost goes below there, we get a new field, and it's a checkbox that you have to check and say that I've got, manager approval or got an approval for this.
That works. Sure.
Yeah.
We kind of brainstormed something like that at the time, so that sounds brilliant.
Exactly. Yeah, something along that. Cool.
Have those next 3 been re-estimated or?
I believe so, yes. So this one's almost complete, but it just needs a video as well done for it. So we've kept it as before. The bug here, that has not been re-estimated. In fact, we were able to mark this one as complete.
Yeah.
So I'll fix that up before we send out the email.
Cool.
And then finally, the invoice testing. I'm keeping it at an 8 just because there's been a couple of small tweaks that I'm wanting to make, but also I want to get those unit tests in.
Okay, sounds good.
Cool. Alrighty, moving on from there, we've got the suggested and automated timesheet usage. Nothing to call out here. It's just about the same as every other week. It's down a little bit, but potentially because we've had public holidays, people just manually chucking them in might be quicker.
Sure.
Sprint burn down, a bit of a funny one. We're sort of going down, then we had to bring
Yeah,
in some
not
more work, but not too bad in the end. DevOps, we haven't added any tests, so it's all the same metrics for front and back end. Any questions so far?
Nope, all good.
Cool. Pipeline health, nothing to call out. 100% pass rate, and also same duration as every other week. Cool. 5 deployments in the last 2 weeks. Majority of them, I believe, have been by the Frenchies with SSW Easy Leave. Application health. This is where it's been nice. We've seen a dip in the failed requests. We're down.
Coincidental?
Yeah. Maybe something to do with some public holidays and people not using the software, but we'll take it as a win, I think.
Sure.
State of the epics. So we've had a little bit of progress in Ingram Micro, but yeah, good to see it's coming along. We had a little bit of a look at this during the actual review, and the stuff left isn't really MVP, so it's good to see where it's at.
Great, awesome.
Finally, R&D, just third-party communication with the Ingram Micro API, and then we've got the retro. So what went well, we're stoked to have the discount feature finally merged. It's been setting as a pull request for a couple of months. Tom has said it's been great. He's becoming more familiar with the structure and architecture in TimePro, which is it's definitely showing. He's going really well, being able to review some pretty big pull requests.
Yeah.
What didn't go so well, since the staging database is missing data, testing is limited of what we can actually do on there. So we're both looking forward to getting that data sorted next week.
Cool.
What improvements? So since I copied from the last email, I actually realized I forgot to do anything about this last week.
Nice.
We want to add a feature flag just so we can test this and we can safely launch it without just commenting on the code. And then also to hand over all the Ingram Micro content.
Yeah, nice. Okay.
Cool. Alrighty. Sprint planning for the next one. So we've got a 1-week sprint, and we'll hopefully see JK back sort of mid next week. The testing
attendees again.
Sorry.
Attendees again.
Good catch.
Cool. All right, so we're going to try and get Ingram Micro into basically testable.
Yep. So
which would be great.
That's sort of entailing this one here, the Ingram Micro testing, and also this CRM staging fixes.
Yeah, nice.
Cool. Alrighty. Is there any questions about anything else there, or happy with that?
Just the order of things. Can you go to the actual sprint backlog for the sprint?
Okay.
And just switching around the order a bit. Can we move all the Ingram Micro stuff up at the top?
Or micro up the top.
Except for
progress.
I guess. Okay, if you've got progress, then leave that there. But other than that, like, yeah, nice. Lovely. Okay.
Happy with that? Awesome.
Yes.
Alrighty, I'll fix up the email and send that one out. I'll also send out the link for the recording, so you can see any of our other sprint review recordings here on the TimePro YouTube channel.
Lovely job.
Brilliant.
All right.
Thanks,
Nice
everyone.
one. Thanks all.
Appreciate it.
Bye. Okay.
Should I?